Good morning and welcome. If we don't know each other, my name is Lindsay Bell-Kerr. I have the joy of serving as pastor here at Christ Church United Methodist, and it's my absolute privilege to be here with you today as we celebrate the life of Carolyn Keith. I want you to take a moment and just look around at how many people are gathered here. It's a beautiful, a good, and perhaps the best thing you can do today or any day to celebrate the life of another person. And I, for one, am glad that we're here to celebrate a life as beautiful as Carolyn's. On behalf of Joe, Christy, Lori, and Suzanne and their families, I'm glad you're here. While you're here, I want to invite you to be as comfortable as possible. We are packed in a little tighter than usual, so just be mindful of other people, but you are welcome to get up and use the restrooms if you need to. They're down the hallway. There are men's and women's restrooms on the right. There's a gender-inclusive restroom on the left. There'll be a time of a fellowship and sharing after this, and we'll kind of be here in this space, and you can also be out in the courtyard as well. As this is the most important thing we can be doing today, I want to invite you to become fully present during this time. And that means to turn off your cell phone. It turns completely off. Behold, it will actually turn off. And I dare you to turn it off. You know, the news is terrible, right? Just turn it off. Turn off for this moment, for this time together. If you have electronic devices that are for your medical health, please leave those on. Everything else, shut off. I want to also invite you to turn off whatever it is that has occupied you this morning or this past week, whatever it is that's on your mind. It's okay to set it aside for this time and just to be fully present here, to remember and celebrate a life well lived. So I'll invite you to become present in this space. I'll invite you to put your feet on the floor, your hand on something that's touching the floor. And let's just breathe in together and out. And one more time, in and out. We begin this morning with gratitude. God, we are grateful. We are grateful for this opportunity to gather. We are grateful for this community that surrounds Carolyn's family with such love and care. We are grateful even for our grief, for it is a sign that love has changed us. Most of all, we are grateful for the life of Carolyn Keith, for all she's meant to this community, for all the beauty she has brought in the world, for the way she has changed each person here. Thank you. We ask you to make us fully present in this time together, to hear all of the ways that love is speaking to, through, and among us and changing our hearts today. Amen. I'll now invite Loretta forward to open us with a reading.
This poem by Eric Ehrman is one of Carolyn's favorites. Go placidly amid the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others. Even the dull and ignorant, they too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexations to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain and bitter. For always, there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself. Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own career, however humble. It is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself. Especially do not feign affection. Neither be cynical about love, for in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is perennial as the grass. Take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune. But do not distress yourself with imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive him to be, and whatever your labors and aspirations in the noisy confusion of life, keep peace with your soul. With all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be careful. Strive to be happy.
Next, we'll hear from Tim, and he's going to read to us from 1 Corinthians.
Sure. Okay. I'm Tim. I'm Carolyn Keith's son-in-law. A letter from Paul to the Corinthians. If I speak in the tongues of men or of angels, but do not have love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have a faith that can move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor and give over my body to hardship that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. But where there are prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be stilled. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when completeness comes, what is in part disappears. When I was a child, I talked like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I put the ways of childhood behind me. For now we see only a reflection, as in a mirror. Then we shall see face to face. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I am fully known. And now these three remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. Thank you.
So, honoring Carolyn's love of the outdoors, the family asked me to find a reading today that spoke of God's creation, and actually spent a lot of time looking for this reading, and then I instead came across this poem who's written by a brother. His name's Brother Antonius. And the reason this came to mind for me was because he was a monk who actually worked in a soup kitchen in Oakland, caring for people. And then he began to grow flowers to give to people who came to the kitchen as well. Just hearing from Carolyn's daughters about these two strands of her life, living into the beauty of the world and also helping other people, made me want to share this. Brother Antonius's reflection on Psalm 150, let everything that has breath praise the Lord. He went out to the coast and he imagined that the waterfowl out there were singing praise to God, and this is the poem that he wrote. Clack your beaks, you cormorants and kittiwakes, north of those rock croppings, finger-jutted into the rough Pacific surge. You migratory terns and pipers who leave but the temporal call tracks written on the sandbars there of your presence. Pelicans, you comber-picking scoters, you shore-long gulls. All you keepers of the coastline, north of here to the Mendocino beaches, all you beyond, upon the cliff face, thwarting the surf of the head, hovering the undersurge where the cold Columbia grapples at the bar, north yet of the Sound, whose islands float like a sown flurry of chips upon the sea. Break wide your harsh and salt-encrusted beaks, unmade for song. Break wide the mouths that God gave you, and say a praise unto the Lord. Let's take a moment and breathe in together and out. And we are here today to give thanks and praise for Carolyn's life, remembering that even now, in this time of loss, three things remain: faith, hope, and love. And the greatest of these is love. In just a moment, we'll hear reflections from family members. And then after that, I'll be bringing the microphone around for folks to share a word or a phrase, just a quick memory that they have of Carolyn, letting you know that now so you can kind of be reflecting on what's on your heart as we hear Sarah sing for us the Ave Maria.
Dominus tecum.
invite Lori and Joe forward to share some words.
Hello. Hello, friends, family, and loved ones. I'm Carolyn's youngest daughter, Lori, and this is my dad, Joe. It is our honor to reflect on the life of Carolyn today. It means so much to see the faces of those who loved her, those who were shaped by her generosity, and those who simply enjoyed the warmth of her presence. Thank you all for gathering to celebrate the incredible woman that she was. Loving, compassionate, kind, selfless, and forever joyful. It's impossible to sum up 82 years of warmth and grace in a few short moments, but I'll try my best to bring you into the world of the woman who shaped mine and my sisters, Christy and Suzanne. Carolyn was born in Oakland, California on August 29th, 1943. Her life's journey took her from Northern California to Southern California, where she attended junior high and high school before graduating from Cal State Fullerton with a degree in speech-language pathology. She found deep purpose working as a speech and hearing specialist. She had a gift, especially with children, and her patience and compassion left a mark on her students and their families alike. She met my dad, Joe, on a blind date in 1963, and together they built a life full of laughter and adventure. Dad, tell the story about your first date with Mom.
Well, my boss came into work one day and he said, "Joe, I was at a party at my son's house last night and I met this girl you've just got to meet." And I said, "Bill, no, I don't do blind dates." And he said, "You would just love this girl." And I said, "Well, why don't you just get me her phone number and I'll ask her out for coffee?" So he got me her phone number and I called her and we made a date for coffee. Well, I rang the doorbell to her parents' house and she had a little Sheltie dog. And he was an older dog and he came running up, barking at the door just as Carolyn was opening the door. The dog fell over and started having a heart attack. So I didn't even say hello to Carolyn. I just got down on my knees and I started pumping the dog's legs and to get him to breathe again. So I realized I hadn't even said hello. So I just looked up at her and said, "Hi, I'm Joe." So I kept working the dog, and eventually he revived, so we went out for coffee. I really loved Carolyn. I really liked her then. And on our third date, I said to her, "There's something I want to tell you. I want you to date all the guys you want to, but I want you to know that I'm going to marry you." And she said, "Oh, I know. All the guys tell me that."
Well, spoiler alert, they got married in 1966 and started their love story of partnership and adventure. They took off to live in Paris for a year. They eventually settled here in Santa Rosa, where they raised 3 daughters. Mom poured her heart into caring for our family, her stunning rose garden, her animals, and later in her role as Grammy with her grandchildren, Cyrus, Ella, Lucy, and Fiona, each of whom she adored and nurtured with so much tenderness. She was selfless in every way. She welcomed friends, neighbors, and even stray animals into her home. Mom was always happiest outdoors, surrounded by her roses, fruit trees, garden beds, all bursting with life. Her garden really reflected who she was, nurturing, patient, and filled with beauty. So, today, we honor Carolyn not with sorrow, but with gratitude for the love she gave so freely.
And so, my dear friends, let's travel down the path that brings back memories excuse me, of our sweet Carolyn, and together we will reminisce about the wonderful experiences we had with her. Thank you again for joining us here today. With love.
So let's take a moment and breathe in and out. And let's say together, we give thanks for Carolyn. Give thanks for Carolyn. I'm at a lot of funerals. That's like part of the job. And I have to say that usually when someone is in their early 80s, there are not this many people who are here to be with them. That says something not just of Carolyn's life, but her ability to connect with people younger than herself, the way in which perhaps she impacted her daughter's friends, the way in which she is still present with us. There are other people, as you can see on Zoom as well. And so we did want to open up a little time today to share, for folks to share a brief memory about Carolyn. I want you to kind of notice how many people are here. So whatever you're thinking about sharing, let's share less and hold it all in our hearts. And we'll trust that there will be time afterwards to share longer stories. So I just want to just notice what's on your heart, what you would want to share about Carolyn and about her life and about the impact that she made in yours. And after each memory, we'll say together, we give thanks for Carolyn. Let's say that again. We give thanks for Carolyn. One from the family. Go ahead. You can just sit right here. You can share as much as you want. Go ahead.
Hello, I am Carolyn's youngest granddaughter. And I remember one time, I went to Grandma and Grandpa's house, and I was kind of bored, and I wanted to make something, and so I was like, I want to bake something, and so Mary helped me make these coconut rolls, and Grammy helped us make them, and it was really fun. Yeah.
So let's say together, we give thanks for Carolyn. In addition to Carolyn's family being here, we're also grateful that Carolyn's caregiver, Mary, is here, and just give thanks for someone who's living a full and beautiful life right until the end with the help of other people. Let's say together, we give thanks for Carolyn. Give thanks for Carolyn.
I'm Mary. I'm Carolyn's caregiver for the past 3 years, and I am so fortunate to be part of this family. They're so loving and caring, and Carolyn is a very loving and kind lady. I remember all the time before I go home, she'll always find food or something to give it to me before I go home, and I will tell her, no, I have food at home. She said, no, you have to take food home. So I'm like the youngest daughter of Carolyn. Yeah. So she has to take care of me all the time. She said, "You're my daughter. You have to eat. You have to do it." So, okay, mother. So now that she's gone, I'm still part of the family. It's very hard to depart from this family. So I'm around, and Joe makes me happy every day because I'm with Joe now since Carolyn is gone. And I'll always cherish every moment that I share with Carolyn. We always walk together, even though um, she is weak sometimes, but she will tell me, "Mary, I have to go outside. I have to walk." And I said, "You cannot because you're weak." He said, "No, I have to." That's how she loved nature. She loved roses. She loved animals. And that's what I learned from Carolyn, that she loved outdoor most of the time. Thank you.
For someone who loved the outdoors and perhaps thrust hospitality upon others, we say together, we give thanks for Carolyn. We give thanks for Carolyn. Others.
Oh, yeah, perfect. Hi, my name is Sarah, and I am one of Lori's childhood friends. There are many of us here, and I just have to say, going to the Keith family house was like walking into just this magical land of warmth and love. And when I think of Carolyn and Joe, I think of sitting in the kitchen around that island and making harvest loaf. And the thing that I really, just when I think of Carolyn, when she was talking to you, you were the most important person in the room. You were the most interesting, you were the most amazing. This is probably why I have this inflated ego, is because of Carolyn Keith. But she made everyone shine. Everyone knew they were loved. Joe, that's the same for you too. But just a house full of love.
For a house full of love, for a person who made you feel like you were the most important person. What a gift. We say together, we give thanks for Carolyn. We give thanks for Carolyn. If you're on Zoom, you can feel free to put a memory into the chat, and we'll come over and read those in a minute to others.
Hi, I'm Cher, and my husband Lawrence, who passed away 4 years ago, took care of Carolyn's rose garden for many years, and he loved both Carolyn and Joe. And when I went over to their house, they were very caring and giving, and it was just a wonderful time to see them both.
We say together, we give thanks for Carolyn. Give thanks for Carolyn. Sorry. Others.
Hello, I'm Anita Carrillo. I have lived next to Loretta since 1971, and that's when we met Joe and Carolyn. Carolyn was the absolute epitome of sweetness, and you could see she married the man who loved her as much as possible. And back in 71, that's about the time that Loretta enticed the rest of the huge Keith clan to move up to Santa Rosa from Los Angeles area.
We say together, we give thanks for Carolyn. Thanks for Carolyn. Do we have number ones? I want to read it. Oh, okay. We'll let Zoom sit for a moment. Anyone else?
I just, when I look at those flowers, I think of Carolyn, whoever chose those. Good job. She was so vivacious. She would invite me and my daughters to go and swim in that pool with the dogs, the roses. She's just so generous. And I loved her house. I loved her sense of style. I echo everyone. She made you feel special when you talked to her. So much love.
For a stylish and vibrant person, for someone who allowed dogs to swim in her pool as well. Such remarkable and bold hospitality. We say we give thanks for Carolyn. We give thanks for Carolyn. Others.
Hi, I'm Deborah, and I've known the family for years and love them all dearly. And Carolyn, I was thinking, was one of the rare people that I know that always put everyone else first. Oh, she always just was the most caring person, putting everyone first. And through the years, anytime I ever knew an animal that needed a home or help, Carolyn would be the first person I would call. She would always be there to help all animals as well.
So for someone who is there to help all animals, including humans, we say together, we give thanks for Carolyn. We give thanks for Carolyn. Whoever has their hand up on Zoom, you want to unmute. Diane. Okay, Diane, we'll wait for you to unmute. Whenever you can do that, we'll be your space to speak. Others.
Hi, my name is Amy Flynn. I'm here with my sister, Sarah. Our father, Russ Flynn, I think we can say is Joe's oldest and dearest friend. So I've known Carolyn since I was born, decades and decades and decades ago. And I spent lots of time in their house as a child and always visiting the three girls. We also are a family of three girls. And it was always a household of unconditional love. Carolyn loved us. Joe loves us more sometimes seemingly than our own parents. So we really appreciated that, to be in a space where it's just full of love and joy. So thank you so much, Carolyn and Joe and all the Keith girls, for all your love for all these decades. We love you very much.
So for love and welcome in a space where everyone felt at home, we say together, we give thanks for Carolyn. We give thanks for Carolyn. Others.
Oh, I was waiting to somebody
Oh, you were waving at somebody else, not me. Try not to take that personally. I feel very embarrassed. Deborah, are you waving at me? Is it about me? Okay, great. Yeah, you go ahead and read. I'm still feeling sheepish. Why don't you read?
I'm behind the scenes, guys. So Tina Ottersberg says, Carolyn came into our lives about 12 years ago when Laurie and my oldest daughters were born. She instantly became a second mom and second grandmom for our family. We have spent so many holiday dinners together over the past 10 years, laughing with each other and trying to fit everyone around small tables. I love Grandma Carolyn so much. She always made me laugh and feel loved.
So for a second mom, a second grandmother, someone who convened a second family and a first family, we say together, we give thanks for Carolyn. We give thanks for Carolyn. Others. Are you waving at me? Okay, good. I'm so nervous now. Okay.
Well, I wasn't going to do this because it's very uncomfortable for me, but I'm Mary, Carolyn's sister-in-law, and I'm glad to meet this Mary because I've gotten so many of her phone calls. So it's really, really nice to meet you. I'm the other Mary. I just want to say that I've been in the family for 52 years, and this is the first family gathering that Carolyn didn't attend personally. And I do feel a loss today. I feel a loss. She was a good sister-in-law. She was.
Let's take a moment, and we're gathered here for the person who was the one who gathered others, for that hospitality, for that draw. We say together, we give thanks for Carolyn. We give thanks for Carolyn. Others.
Good morning. My name is Janine Slaughter. I started working for Cobblestone back in 1983 and met Carolyn. She had 3 young daughters back then, and she would come into the office shuttling her. She was shuttling her kids around and stop in to see Joe. We got to be good friends, and after that, we started being socially active. We would go to each other's homes. We both loved roses like crazy, and so we shared a lot of roses, and we had lovely gardens. We did a lot of traveling with Joe and Carolyn, and I learned that she is an amazing traveler, and that's something that's not easy to do with some people. It's a true test of one's mettle. She was an amazing traveler, and I think she got a lot of it from her parents and from Joe. But she was just a beautiful woman to be with. We were going to miss her very much. And our daughter, we used to do ski trips with the Keith children as well. So we're going to miss her a lot. She was a beautiful woman.
So for a beautiful woman, for an avid gardener, for someone you could travel well with, which is definitely not all people, we say together, we give thanks for Carolyn. We give thanks for Carolyn. Others.
I'm Linda Sharp, and I'm one of the neighbors that lived up the road from Carolyn, Joe, Christy, Lori, and Suzanne. And it's hard to think of just one thing. I think that's probably, that's why I almost didn't say anything, because there's so many things that come to mind. But I feel the most fortunate and blessed to have grown up on a street next to Carolyn and with her daughters, because her family was the most important thing to her. And she thought the world of her three girls, just like Joe does. And it was just a blessing to grow up next to this family. And I just want to tell the family how much we just love having you as our neighbors. And it was just, I feel like we just had a really blessed life living next to you. And also, Carolyn found the best in absolutely everyone. And that's how I feel, just she could find happiness and joy in everything, and just being around her, she was a burst of sunshine. So I just want to thank the family and thank the friends. It's a pleasure to meet everyone.
So for the love we know in proximity, for the love of neighbors, for someone who can find the best in other people, we say together, we give thanks for Carolyn. We give thanks for Carolyn. Others. Let's take a moment and breathe in and out for all of these things, for kindness, for goodness, for hospitality, for welcome, for long relationship, for being seen, for being loved as if for a moment as the most important person there is, for faith and for hope and for love, trusting that the greatest of all of these things, love, remains with us still. We say together, we give thanks for Carolyn. We give thanks for Carolyn. Now have the opportunity to watch a slideshow put together by the family of Carolyn's life.
Stars shining bright above you. Night breezes seem to whisper, I love you. Birds singing in the sycamore tree. Dream a little dream of me. Say nighty-night and kiss me. Just hold me tight and tell me you'll miss me. While I'm alone and blue as can be. Dream a little dream of me.
Stars fading, but I linger on, dear.
Oh, how you linger on.
Still craving your kiss.
How you crave my kiss.
Now I'm longing to linger till dawn, dear. Just saying this.
Give me a little kiss, sweet dreams, till sunbeams find you. Sweet dreams that leave all worries behind you. But in your dreams, whatever they be, dream a little dream of me.
Buzz, 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 buzz. Fading, but I linger on, dear. Still craving your kiss. Yeah, I'm longing to linger till dawn, dear. Just saying this. Sweet dreams, dreaming
till sunbeams find you. Keep dreaming.
Gotta keep dreaming.
Leave the worries behind you. But in your dreams, whatever they be, you've gotta make me a promise. Promise to me you'll dream. Dream a little dream of me.
Let's breathe in together and out. So I regret to say I did not have the privilege of meeting Carolyn. I had the opportunity to meet with her family after she had passed, and I was sitting at the table with Lori and Christy in my office when Joe shared with me the story that he shared with you this morning about their first date. Often when people have had a long and fruitful marriage, I often want to go to them and say, what's your word of advice? And I guess the advice is to save the dog. At the very beginning of the relationship, make yourself absolutely indispensable. You're a gentleman, Joe. I assume you also paid for coffee. And it goes from there. I was so delighted to hear that story, and so delighted that Joe shared that story with us today, because in it, it's interesting, Carolyn is sort of a tertiary character. We assume she's there, upset about her dog, but then also ready to go for coffee after the situation has passed. You're reading a lot of subtext as to what Carolyn's doing, and I just see her as someone who's along for the ride, who's taking care of the situation, and then who's making time to enjoy her life as she goes. It's interesting to see her as this character on the side when I'm seeing her family and she is absent. It's true, sometimes there's someone who holds the family together, and when they leave, it crumbles. Also true that sometimes there is someone that brings together a family in such a way that you see their fingerprints on everything. Having not met Carolyn, I actually feel like I know her a great deal based on meeting her daughters, meeting Joe, now grandchildren, now you all here. It feels like Carolyn is someone I've known too, because if I had showed up at the door, I assume she would have forced food on me as well. It's telling to me also that the poem we read this morning, the Desiderata, which is a poem I often hear at memorial services. For me, it always reads a little more like instructions on life than a poem, right? Do not feign an affection, neither be cynical about love. For me, these words are instructions of a life well lived, a life we see in how Carolyn lived, but now also perhaps instructions on how we should live as well. At every memorial service, we have the opportunity not only to grieve the person who has gone on before us, but remember our own mortality, remember the preciousness of each breath we have, remember that we too someday will have a life that comes to an end, and quite frankly, when my life ends, I hope there are this many people gathered to remember me. I hope there are this many people who say I showed hospitality to them. I hope people gather with joy and with love. I want to live every day in such a way that does not feign affection. I want to be the kind of person who, when other people are with me, they feel like they are the most important person in the world. There's much to be learned from what we've heard about Carolyn today. In the Desiderata, it also says, you are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. I imagine Carolyn lived that way as well. All these images of her in the wilderness seems like she's very at home among the trees and the stars, and the animals and the roses, and making community with all of you. When a beloved person is gone, often it's the first thing we can do to reflect on their absence. I appreciated acknowledging that this is the first gathering of which she is not present. And also, I like to remind people at memorial services that in death, our beloved also give us a last gift, which is that there's a hole they leave by their absence. There's a space in a family or in a community or in a wider group of people that used to be filled by someone. I imagine Carolyn left a very large space that may require many people to step in and to fill that space, many people to take the opportunity to not feign affection, to love each other fully, to be open, to see each other as the most important people in the room. Today, if we want to honor the life of Carolyn, I think the most important thing we can do is show hospitality to others, right? To make our homes the place where people feel welcome, to give gentleness and kindness and love, to maybe plant roses. I hear roses are difficult. I'm an amateur gardener, but I could tend a succulent. You could find something beautiful you could nurture. You could love other people a little more. You could be more gentle with yourself and others. We can find joy in each and every moment, and even in this moment, remembering Carolyn's life. So I want to invite you to take a moment and breathe in and out. And all of the things you've heard of Carolyn today, of all of the things you know of her in life. Remember the singular and beautiful act of kindness she showed you. And in these days, in these weeks to come, I invite you to bestow that kindness on another person, to share that kindness with the world, to trust that in so much as she loved you and you now love others, her life continues. For faith and hope and love remain. But the greatest of all of these is love. Amen. I'll be hearing Amazing Grace. This is a song which people usually stand for. So if you're able and willing, I invite you to rise.
I also invite you to come sing if you know the lyrics. I'm sure she probably would love to hear you guys. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost,
immediately after the blessing, I'll invite you to stick around, to share more stories about Carolyn, to share some of the food and the coffee that has been lovingly set out here for you. It's kind of a tight space with all the chairs, so if you're someone who put out the folding chairs, if you want to kind of stack them and move them to the side so we have more room, that's great. You're also welcome to exit through those back doors and spend time in the courtyard as well. We'll just kind of make ourselves as comfortable as possible. So at the end of a memorial service, there's something that's formally called a commendation, where we commend a soul back to God. Those of us who are children of the universe, no less than trees and stars, we know we go back to where we come from. But I also trust that God is loving and leaves a portion of a soul here with us so that we can hold on to that memory and nurture it as we go. So let's pray together. Holy One, we give you thanks for Carolyn's life. We give you thanks for the way she shaped and molded this community. We trust that she is at rest in your loving arms, that she is at peace, and dare we say it, even at joy with you. We trust also that her presence is still here with us. We invite you to help us remember her presence as we leave this place, to help us show kindness and love to one another, that the kindness and love she showed in this world would be multiplied. In every way, we would become more gentle, more kind, compassionate, and loving people like Carolyn. In your name we pray. Amen. Thanks be to God.